Good day and welcome to another edition of the Clubs and Corks Golf Podcast. Luke Taylor here with my partner in crime, Ben Curtis. And we actually found someone off the street to actually be here, filmed and taped.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting. He was actually born in North Bay, so I don't know if he's considered a Canadian or not. But that's a funny story in itself, because we'll get to that. He's a two-time Ohio amateur champion, and I think there's 2 out of 3 of us have done that.
Yes.
In this room, yeah.
In this room. And you're not one of them.
Whoa. God, just
that's
the
one
abuse.
of his, that's one of his famous intros. Well, between the 2 of us, we have 4 victories.
We do. We have actually, between the 3 of us, we have 5 PGA tournament events. So we got, I guess you're ranked up there too. You're top 35, won your first event, CJ Cup. We got Jason Kokrak to the Clubs and Corks Golf Podcast, I guess, studio.
Yeah. Fellow Ohioan. Canadian, whatever you want to say.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So wait, time out. What are you?
Well, I consider myself a U.S. citizen. I mean, I was born in Canada, but I spent very little time. I think I was about a week or 2 before I moved to Warren, Ohio, and where I grew up with my parents. But yeah, I was born in North Bay.
You were born on vacation, weren't you? Your mom was visiting or something like that?
I wouldn't. Yeah, my mom was visiting. We'll call it that. But
okay.
I mean, it's an interesting story. Loved going to visit my family up in Canada. But
you have family from Canada.
Yeah, my mom's whole side of her family still kind of through Toronto and through North Bay.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So it's, but everything that I know is pretty much northeastern Ohio. So this is it. My aunt and uncle live here in Hudson, so nice. it's close by.
Who makes better pizza in Youngstown?
Sunrise.
Okay. There's a debate about that. There's 2 of them. Isn't like DeFeo's or someone like that, or
no? There's just Sunrise.
Okay, my bad. I always feel like I'm the whipping boy between Jason Day, him. Ricky was very pleasant to me.
For a minute,
yeah.
He said he's Irish.
He said I could get on a bag. I could talk my way into a bag, but just don't go to Reno.
Yeah.
Have you played Reno yet?
I've played Reno a couple times. I haven't played in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty hilly.
It was. I heard they got a new golf course.
Yeah,
though.
John said it wasn't that hilly, but yeah.
The old one was.
He wants
really
to caddy for me, so that was the first. I might want to take him there, so he'll never caddy again.
Yeah, light air at altitude, walking straight uphill.
Yeah,
you get lightheaded going to the tee boxes, and then you gotta.
You don't want to hit first. You want to make birdie, but you want to be the second guy every tee.
Yeah. Make sure you know if he's going to hit it high or low because the ball travels out there.
I'm not doing this. You know that, right?
Okay. Well, we can try to talk you into it. It's better than Mexico City. I'll tell you what. That's a hard place to figure out how far that ball's going. My caddy's got to get his calculator out.
It was like 6,000.
I think it's at least 6,000.
Reno's only 4, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. But like that back 9, you're just walking straight uphill. You're going further and further up the mountain, so the ball will travel a little bit more all the way up top as opposed to down to the bottom.
Well, now you'll be playing at Concession. Have you played there yet?
You know what? I lived down in the Sarasota area for about a year and a half right out of college. I was working out of the IMG Academy, and I got to play there once or twice. Tough track, looking forward to it, but all I remember is it's narrow fairways and tough greens.
Yeah, I played it about a year and a half ago, first time, and I thought the same thing. It's not overly long, so you probably won't be hitting a lot of drivers other than par 5s and stuff, so typical Nicklaus course is target golf, right?
Left to right, too.
Left to right, hit a little fade, which you're fine with, right?
I like to do a draw, but whatever, it'll work either way.
So you won your first tournament last year.
Yeah.
After quite a few starts. I think it was like 233 starts to be exact, 9 years total on the PGA Tour, which is
9 full seasons, going into my 10th, and I finally got it done. I had a lot of opportunities. Finished second at Riv. Valspar, close calls there for a couple of years, but I told myself going down into the final round, just let it happen. Stay within yourself, and you know this golf course better than anybody in this tournament.
Do you feel winning that tournament, obviously, when at that time of year, do you feel you're better positioned this year, just with confidence going into some majors, just knowing that you can win at this level? I mean, you can't. All these players can win at this level, but you did it.
Yeah, I mean, going into this year, you got a couple-year exemption. I got all the majors ahead of myself. Looking forward to it. I mean, it's been kind of a whirlwind, but, I kind of have to refocus and, start playing some good golf again. I mean, I've kind of not played my best golf, but, flattening in the face of my driver at the Tournament of Champions didn't help either. So I've been on the driver's search, but hey, that's the ebbs and flows of golf.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, took you a while to get your first victory. You had some success, made a lot of money, right? I mean, you made almost 13, 14 million up to that point. So coming from somebody that won right away, right? But it's very hard to win out there. It just shows you how hard it is to win out there. You get going in the right time. Got to take advantage of those opportunities. But, did it ever sink in? I mean, you played so well and made so much money and you never won. Was it ever thought, like, can I actually do this? Or were you always – I mean, I know you a little bit. You're very confident, which is a good thing, right? Yeah. That's what makes you successful. But did you ever come in your mind, hey,
I think
a little bit of doubt?
Any golfer is going to have that self-doubt or mental doubt throughout the career. But I'll tell you what, if you told me that I'd have a 10-year career making $1 million plus on the PGA Tour, I would have, without a win, I would have said, sign me up, no problem. Wouldn't have even thought twice about it. So very blessed to be a 10-year veteran, I guess you call it now. But I finally
You're an
got
old
that.
Man now.
I feel like an old man out there. I mean, I'm I was top 6 or 7 longest guys out there. Now I'm like 40th, so everybody's
You're 52nd. I did see your stat. You're on tour, driving dist 52nd, but I mean,
that's okay.
That's all right.
I'm not really worried about this. I'm not a big stat goer, but there's some guys out there that hit it noticeably further than anybody else. Finau hits it a mile. I mean, Cameron Champ. I mean, Bryson's doing it his own way, which he's always going to do. But I'm not going to tee it up with a bunch of guys and they're going to hit it 30, 40 yards by me all day. So I'm not worried about the driving stats. I want to hit more fairways.
Well, it makes it a lot easier, right? For sure.
Less
stress, firm, fast greens. I mean, if you can when I was playing, I'd rather hit an 8-iron from the fairway than a wedge from the rough because I knew I could control it. So it's 150, 60 yards, something like that versus, 120, 30, 40 yards. So
without question. I mean, we had the V grooves there for a while, and then we got the square grooves, and it was just bomb and gouge there for a while. But I think there is a premium to hitting fairways. But then again, the PGA Tour hasn't really had firm greens as of late. I think the last time we had firm greens was at Shadow Creek, to be honest. Those were very firm.
Well,
and I'm a high ball hitter. Yeah.
Rains once a year there. So.
Well, I was just in Saudi Arabia, and it rained there in the middle of the desert. So they always say the PGA Tour could bring
some pictures of that. It looked pretty wild.
Yeah, it was wild. I mean, seeing the water and then the storm coming in, it was different. But it was a cool experience. I'm going back next year for sure. Nice. So much better than I expected. But the jet lag is no joke.
Yeah. Did you pack an umbrella to take on the course, or did your caddy do that?
Fortunately enough, I did have one in there from the week before at Torrey Pines, and it always seems to rain there. Actually, it hailed this year, so I had an umbrella, thankfully.
Yeah, I told him I stood on the first tee at Torrey for 4 hours waiting for the fog, just standing there, just waiting. 15 minutes, 15 more minutes, 15 minute delay, 15 more minutes. Just like, can we just come back tomorrow? But yeah.
You sound like you played on the PGA Tour for a couple of years.
We talked about that, how, it rains and the tour officials just, gone. You get a rain delay.
Gone.
Like, are we going out anytime soon? It hasn't rained in an hour. It looks clear.
Everybody's in the locker room. Okay, 15 more minutes. There'll be an update in 15 minutes. I'm like, why can't you just tell us something within the hour?
What do you think they're doing?
Nothing. What do you mean? What are they doing? They're not doing anything.
They're playing solitaire. Free cell.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you look at the weatherman. He can just say whatever he wants. I think that's what the tour's doing lately. They say whatever they want.
Throw darts.
See what sticks.
Yeah.
But
now, when you won at Shadow Creek, did they, for all the players, did they pick you up in limos and drop you off at the course? Because I think it's like $500-$600. And they'll pick you up in a limo and they'll drop you off and you got drinks. Did they do that for you?
Yeah. I mean, Shadow Creeks is definitely one of those places. I mean, I'm sponsored by MGM, so you
got to be nice about everything.
You got to be. Well, I mean,
it's funny.
Even when I wasn't with MGM, I mean, it was still a thing. Like, you got picked up in a limo, brought out there. Nice. You're driving out there, and right when when I was a kid, I went out there with my family. But there is nothing. But it's growing more and more out there, and it's still fun to drive out into the middle of the desert and see a golf course like that.
Did you get the Clubs and Corks limo service, or did you probably just have to drive yourself?
Yeah, I got the Clubs and Corks limo service.
Yeah.
Well, we had the other
wheels.
event, the TPC Summerlin, the week before, so I had a rental car, courtesy car the week before.
Prius.
So
you're
real
a big
nice
guy.
Prius.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little nice Prius.
yeah. The smart car, can't even fit my clubs in there. But yeah, I mean, it's I know I've been out there a bunch of times, so I just drove myself and just stuck to the game plan.
It's nice. It's good and bad that we don't have a sponsor. It's bad because we're not making any money, but it's good because then we can say what the hell we want.
Without a doubt. I mean,
technically.
The name of your show is pretty funny because the week of Shadow Creek, funny enough, my caddy and I, we would have dinner. There wasn't a whole lot open in Vegas. I mean, it'd be one restaurant one night, another restaurant another. So we tended to go back to the same place every night, and we ordered a bottle of wine, and we each split a bottle of wine. Come Saturday, we're in contention. We're in the mix, and I ordered a bottle of wine. I was like, D-Rob, you coming down? And he's like, no, I'm going to stay in the room. I'm like, no, you're not. We're going to stick to the game plan. You're going to come down here, and you're going to choke down this $1,000 bottle of wine, and you'll figure it out. It'll be just fine.
What was it, by the way?
I don't even remember.
But
I'll tell you what.
Was that good?
No, it was. We always. I mean, with the MGM credit, we always, get the nicer bottle. It wasn't
It's
hard.
probably a Camus or like a
You
silver.
and I are going to go to NGM. Yes, I'm Jason Kokrak.
Yeah, nobody can say my last name anyway. But it was. I mean, we
Polish?
Slovak.
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 Close.
Yeah. So my grandfather's Slovak and grandmother's German.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a different last name.
It's funny how like you do that because I remember some tournaments I won. I did the same thing. You something in you that just feels it, right? You knew you were having a special week, and you do that. I did that at Valero. Just went to the same place every night. BJ's right down the road from it.
Yeah.
I didn't even stay on property there. I stayed off site.
Yeah.
And it was my first time there, and I did the same thing. Went to BJ's and just had dinner there every night. I don't think I had the same thing.
Okay.
Probably didn't drink the same thing, but yeah, it's funny how you do that. You just get in these habits, and you just, all right, I'm not messing it up. I'm playing well. I'm doing the same thing.
You weren't drinking the 2003 Chateau Montelena?
No, I was probably drinking Coors Light or Heineken because probably hanging out with Ricky. I was hanging out with Ricky all week.
Drinking beer.
Heineken.
I just go to Bojangles every night.
Oh, that's definitely a good spot down in the south, though.
Bojangles.
Bojangles.
Yeah. Bojangles.
So where is your favorite restaurant on tour?
Oh man.
Or favorite? I mean,
what's your favorite tour stop? How about that? Make it easier.
That's a hard one. I mean, everybody likes Jack's event. Everybody likes the invitationals. Arnold Palmer's been good to me. I tend to like the places that I've played well. That's a tough spot. I mean, Duck City for the John Deere is a great stop.
Yeah.
That's a good restaurant. But I'll tell you what, you can't beat the restaurants in Vegas. I mean, it's free food and it's 5-star.
So what's at MGM?
I mean,
where you stay?
You name it, they've got.
Well,
it.
I haven't been there in 10 years.
Craft Steak is the place that I went to every night when I was there, but they've got some of the best restaurants there, but a lot of them weren't open. So I'd go to Jean George's quite a bit too if I stayed at Aria. But
nice.
I don't know if I could say that I have a favorite stop. To be honest, I mean, I like the Florida Swing. My family gets to come down and, watch a little bit of golf. Hopefully,
get everything out of
the snow. It's freezing by the middle of February. It's pretty cold up here. But hey, since moving back, 2.5 years ago, I've had some of my best seasons ever. So
you need that break. You're out there so much, and when I lived in Florida, the same thing. I struggle with just it's middle of January. I've just played. Full season. I don't need to go practice, right? But you felt guilty because it's 75 and sunny out.
It's beautiful.
And you go up to the club or something to work out or eat lunch or dinner, and you see guys out there pounding balls. You're like, well, maybe I should.
Maybe I should go do that. But growing up in this area, I agree with you. It's nice to just set the clubs down and, take a little break. I mean, we play all the way up until December, if not, through the middle of December if you play, Shark Shootout or something like that. And then you'll have 2-3 weeks off before it starts back up. So I love to set the clubs down, take a little break, and then pick them back up. I tend to forget all my bad habits.
Yeah, and you forget bananas in the. What did you say when you didn't play events? Ricky knew how long it was because of the banana in the.
The
bag?
When if he found the banana in there, he knew I didn't practice when I was home.
Yeah, D-Rob hasn't started doing that yet, but I'm sure it's pretty close.
So what does your schedule look like this year? What are you playing?
I'm kind of playing a pretty heavy schedule. I think I'm going to play. Well, coming up, I'm going to play LA this coming week. Play Concession, the WGC event. Arnold Palmer Players week off. I think the week after that's match play, and then I think I'll take a week off before I go down to Augusta again.
Nice.
After that, I mean, I'm not one of those guys that sets my schedule for the entire year. It's
really?
A month or two out, and then I'm like,
why do you do that? Is it just work for you kind of thing?
Just feel. I mean, if I'm playing good, I'll keep playing. If I start playing bad or have a couple tough weeks, I'll take a week off and be like, all right, I need to go regroup or something like that. But when you're playing good, take advantage. Play.
That was like Spieth. He wasn't going to play the Waste Management Open, so he's going to take it off, and he's happy he played it. I mean, how did you used to do it, Ben? I mean, did you?
I would have a game plan, so to speak. I would try to plan it out, but it changed. Like he said, you'd be going along, and I had it set that I was going to play, these 3 in a row. Let's say Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, or something like that. And then you start playing, you're like, nope, taking 2 weeks off. I'll just play one of them. And Jason. The best players, that's what they do. You hear guys all the time withdraw the week before, say I'm tired, need a week off. It's just, hey, I'm not playing good. They know they're not playing as where they want to be, or maybe it is tired. But yeah, you got to go by feel. I think. I mean, it's easy to set the schedule, but it can fluctuate real quick.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep playing if you're playing great, but when the players are the only ones that know when they need a week off, and we just kind of go with it. I mean, some other guys just stick to the game plan throughout the year. Talking to the guys on the course, I mean, you spend 5-6 hours with these guys, you at least have to ask them a couple questions.
Yeah.
It's not your wife calling you saying the kids are driving me nuts, you got to come home?
Oh, yeah, that too. But, hey, I love coming home to the boys. I mean, I was all the way around the world. I was in San Diego, so, the time difference was a little bit of a struggle to FaceTime them and keep in touch. But especially when you're over there and the internet wasn't great at the hotel and, you're only catching,
I did it a few years ago, back 2011 or 12. I was over there for 3 weeks, and I'd wake up and they'd be having dinner, right? Getting ready for dinner. And then when I was having dinner, they were getting up. So it was fun. But at least now with technology, it makes it a little more.
FaceTime is really nice nowadays.
I always struggled because I always wanted to touch them or hold them.
Yeah.
It almost made it worse in the sense that you couldn't physically. You see them, but you couldn't.
Thank God we're talking about your kids, not me or something like that. Kokrak will block me.
I just have the audio on, take the video off when I talk to you.
How much? Oh, go ahead. No, please. Beauty before beast. Go ahead.
Okay. So Augusta should suit well for you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your success rate there? I kind of had a quick look. I mean, Augusta's one of those, the more you play, I think the more comfortable you get with it, correct?
I mean, I felt actually fairly comfortable at Augusta the first time. My first go-around was here this past fall, so I'd never played before, refused to go, just I wanted to make it on my own merit, and after that I'll go as many times as I'm invited. But, with it being super wet in the fall, I struggled because I hit the driver pretty high. I drove it halfway decent, but every time I seemed to hit a good one, I'd catch a mud ball, and God knows where those things
because they're not going to lift clean in place.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's out of the question. So It was interesting playing my first one. I struggled with the mud balls because I had quite a few, great looks, short irons into the par fives, and it just didn't. You got a short iron into a par 5, you got 6 iron, it flies 240 over the green, goes into the water. You can't do anything about it. But I think with it being a little firmer, a little faster, I mean, the green speeds will be a little different, so I got to get used to that. But
hopefully fans, right? I mean,
yeah, how weird is that?
Well, I mean, I feel like you're playing a mini tour event half the time. I mean, we're out at Torrey Pines in some of these PGA Tour events. It's like you're not allowed to go in the clubhouse. You don't have any amenities whatsoever. I mean, kind of surprising the tour is even having some of these events in, a place like LA or San Diego.
So there's no you just basically eat in the hotel and then.
Well, there is food to go, but you've been to Torrey Pines. It's 42 degrees and raining outside, and you want to get yourself a nice hot breakfast. And it's cold by the time you sit outside, and it's already cold.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to play some of these events. So hopefully things will open back up here throughout the Florida swing, but. Still,
so they're allowing fans, right? Some of them.
Yeah, some of them coming up. I know there's only like 2 family members that are pre-registered or pre-credentialed to the WGC event, Arnold Palmer and players. But Augusta, you're going to have a couple tickets, but it's going to be few and far between.
So me and who else are you going to invite?
Well, you know what? You're on that extended list right now.
The one that just keeps going.
Yeah. Hey, can you get me? Hey, can you get me some tickets? Well, I mean, there's no fans, so yeah, I can get you as many tickets as you want. You're not going to be allowed in the gate.
Yeah. Just wait outside around 6 a.m. I'll come bring them to you.
Yeah. Go up to the guard on Magnolia Lane. See what happens.
You know what? If nobody's there, just hop the gate. They'll take care of
you. Yeah, my fat ass ain't going over a gate.
You wouldn't get far at Augusta, I promise.
Really?
Oh my God.
You get about 3 steps in.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, the security is no joke there. I mean, the pillars that come up and out of the ground when you turn in, you're not. If you're in a car and you think you're going to get close, you won't.
What if I went through the ventilation system?
I'd actually love to see that.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting if you can even get close enough to the building to get into the ventilation system.
Well, I'm sure there's tunnels there, but if you got to find the tunnel first,
well,
you would think it's there. I mean, there's some of those bathrooms you don't even know they're there until you walk into them. Like there's a little path or whatever, and there's a guard sitting there.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, there's somebody always sitting there. There's cameras that are hidden up in the trees that you don't know are there. And
really,
oh yeah, it's definitely different. I mean, watching it, all these years as a kid, and then going there and seeing, 14, 15, 16, like nobody around, like you see, like it's normally a sea of people. So it was vacant. And it is strange.
I'm going to give you a little word of advice. Make sure you get to the range before Jason Day.
Why?
Because if you want any ball markers.
He takes them all?
And he takes those and flags too. He says he was taking flags too, wasn't he?
No.
Yeah, I think he took a couple Masters flags even too.
Divot tool and a ball marker, that's all you really need. So hey, I'm not like that. I took it all in. I didn't even carry a yardage book the first practice round I played. I just kind of enjoyed the walk and went and
How was that the first time?
I mean, it's surreal. I mean, you've worked your entire life to play that golf tournament or US Open or whatever it may be, but Masters is pretty special.
What surprised you most about the golf course? I obviously saw a lot of it on TV. I know a lot of people say the hills, right? They couldn't believe how hilly it was.
Well, I mean, you're in the middle of Georgia, so you don't think of that terrain being very mountainous, but I mean, just the difference from tee box down to the fairway back up to the green is way more drastic than you think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, when you walk off that first tee, you walk straight downhill, and then you walk straight back up the hill, and then you keep going, and then the next hole is the same thing.
Yeah.
You get down to the fairway, and you walk back up, and
every hole goes up and down.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool taking like a local caddy and seeing some of those shots that you can play into certain spots where it always funnels back into this spot or it's straight from here. It's something that I'll never forget. But the more I play there, the more I'm going to learn. And for a right to left player, it definitely suits my game pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a quick break. The miracle of wine capturing a special time and place finds its essence in the Mira Cabernet Schweitzer vineyard. Even before Jim Bear Dyke and Gustavo A. Gonzalez founded Mira, they dreamt of making I know you guys are laughing at me, of making a definite Napa Valley Cabernet from this premier Grand Cru vineyard. First planted in 1885 in the heart of Stags Leap District, the Schweitzer family devotes incredible care in their stewardship of the land and the fruit it yields, making them ideal partners in Mira's quest for pure expressions of vineyard and varietal. The Mira Cabernet Schweitzer Vineyard. Pour yourself a miracle. Oh, I didn't write that.
I'm thirsty.
I know. Are you going to play a Safeway Open? Oh, you don't plan that far in advance.
I don't.
Have you ever played it before?
Plenty of times.
Yeah, you like it, don't you?
That's why I have so much wine in my basement.
What are some of your favorite wineries out there?
Oh, man. I was very blessed to do a bunch of tastings with some guys that have been on tour for quite a few years. And there's a collector in Houston, actually. He's a heart surgeon that he's involved in some of the most high-end places out there. But, I mean, just to go, actually, my wife and I got engaged with a bottle of Ovid. So that little boutique place is really kind of special.
Did you get engaged in Napa?
Did not get engaged in Napa. I got engaged in the wine cellar at Del Frisco's in Charlotte,
nice,
where I used to live, and we actually had our rehearsal dinner and everything there in Charlotte. So it was pretty cool. But then we told our story. Actually, Steph told our story to that winery, and they sent us a barrel. Not a full barrel. That would have been really nice, but it was not a full barrel. It was an empty barrel, but it was from Ovid. So instead of the sign-in book, we used that barrel. So everybody signed our barrel. And
that's awesome.
That's down
cool.
in our basement now.
Nice.
So we're collecting barrels. So I got that one, and then when I did the barrel pick for Evil Rare, I got that barrel too. So that's down in the basement. And
I can get you some barrels if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can get you some barrels.
Brand new white oak?
Yeah. Whatever you want. White oak, black oak, yellow oak. It's 2021. I got to be professional.
French oak?
Yeah.
French oak.
The best was someone once said, "Is it British oak?" I'm like, ain't no British. The guy was pretty hammered.
Yeah.
But
that's okay.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. This is a judgment-free zone, I hope.
Yeah.
Well, it's called Clubs and Corks, right?
Well, exactly.
So you went to Xavier.
I did.
Not kind of a golf hotbed like this guy's school over here and some others, but I guess why Xavier? And it's a great school. Fun basketball.
Fun basketball. I kind of wanted to go somewhere far enough away from home that wasn't like down the street. I mean, Kent State's an amazing golf program, and you kind of have that. I mean, they've been there. They've been to, the finals every year, and they're a great golf program. But, I mean, I wanted to go a little bit further away from home, but I also didn't want to go across the country. So I picked Xavier, and I also knew I was going to play most of the tournaments at Xavier. I thought my game was good. I mean, I know Kent State was great, and I just didn't know if I would travel all the time, and I wanted as much experience playing in tournaments as I could.
Yeah, and it's probably better to play than actually sit on the bench, right?
Well, there's a lot of things that you can get into when you're sitting at home. So,
what's that, Ben? Would you know anything about that?
It's called wine, beer, bourbon, whiskey, whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in college, it would have been
Rays.
books.
In Kent, it would have been Rays. You'd have been spending too much time at Rays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, but yeah, but he's right. I mean, you got to go. I tell the kids I work with today, go where you feel like you can play. There's no point of going somewhere where he could have played anywhere he wanted.
Right.
But, obviously coming out of high school, you don't know for sure, right? You could go to any program, think, I'm going to make the team, but then you don't make the lineup. But again, like you say, it's that hard work. It'll eventually pay off. But that experience pays dividends. Like Furyk hardly played at Arizona, right?
Really?
Look what he did.
Oh, he did all right.
He played a handful of tournaments.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
But he was on a really good team. He was at Arizona. They were top 5-10 program every year.
Yeah, they were really, really good. I mean, you look at like the Oklahoma State programs that they've had. You can go down the list. I mean, these guys, they're all good. And if you go to a program like that, you might spend a year plus, back home working out and working on your game instead of actually getting, real time, on golf course experience.
The experience is what pays off. Playing in a tournament, it doesn't matter. You can go to Division III school if you work hard. There's, Chad Collins, right? He went to Methodist.
Yep.
He won everything he played in, right? But he worked hard and had a successful pro career. I think is he still playing?
He was playing there for a little bit. I actually don't know if he's still playing or not. I haven't seen him in quite a while.
Shooting deer and stuff. He was always
enjoying.
He was always. I know him a little bit. He was always deer. Every time I text him, I'm hunting. I'm not playing next week.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
At least you got your priorities straight.
Hey, you got to have some enjoyment when you're at home. You can't. It can't be golf all the time. I mean, you get burnout. You think about January 1, golf all the way until the middle of December. You got to have some other hobbies.
So what are some of your other hobbies?
Corks, wine, beer, bourbon. No, I'm just kidding.
What's wrong with that's great hobbies? I mean, what are you talking? I don't know. Kidding about what?
I collect a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what? The best thing right now is coming home and enjoying my 2-year-old and 4-year-old, 2 little boys. And
it's awesome, isn't it?
They are 2 little animals that I try to corral every day. So it's.
Are they more like you, or?
Well, my wife's family's quite big as well, so I have a feeling my boys are going to be large.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong.
Well, I'm extra large right now, and they're going to be, I think they'll pass me up.
You know what I got this morning from my 5-year-old? Where's Mom? I said, Mom's gone to get a haircut. Hey, Dad, can you come wipe my bum?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how it is.
I do. I didn't quite get that this morning, but
but you know
the swift kick in the balls as soon as you wake up is also a friendly reminder before you've had any coffee. But
or like the hot breath at 6 a.m. on your face. They're just looking at you.
Oh yeah. Well, when you wake up and they're standing like 1 foot from you, just staring at you, and you're like, "Oh my god, I
love it."
About had a
Scream
heart
in your
attack.
face too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like, hey, get off!
Yeah.
Or hitting you with something. One of the, I mean, their fist or
That's
a stuffed
hilarious.
animal, just whipping you right in the head. So
The worst is when they jump in bed with you, and for some reason, my youngest guy, Jack, is a mover. So it's like there's a foot in my nuts, there's a foot in my face. I mean, there's a butt in his butt's in my face, and my wife's just all comfortable on the other side of the bed, and this kid is all over me and hot. Just, oh.
You're just a big bear.
yeah.
Big teddy.
Well, welcome to the club.
Yes.
Yeah. So do they travel much with you? Or?
They haven't traveled much recently because of the whole COVID thing, and I just said, you know what, I prefer that you guys stay at home during this whole process. I think they are going to come down because I'm going to do the 4-week stretch from LA through Players, so they're going to come down for Arnold Palmer because we've always rented a house there, and might take my 4-year-old to Disney, maybe, depending on how busy the parks are and everything.
It's awesome. We were actually, it's funny, we were there, we drove down 17 hours each way. 2 hours there, or 2 days there, 4 days there. We went to 2 days Disney, and I'm telling you something, it was like 35% occupied, but it was probably 50.
Mm-hmm.
But there, people have their mask down a little bit. There was someone from Disney a second later, put your mask up. I mean, they're kicking people out.
Oh, yeah.
It was phenomenal. And then you'd go on a ride, you'd wait an hour thinking like there's all these people, and your family would be the only people in the cart. Like usually they'd have 5 or 6 rows, and they would just be like, your family is going in that cart, no one else. So I mean, I would go if I were you.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. I think the 2-year-old's a little bit too young right now,
Right.
but the 4-year-old definitely he'll have a lot of fun. So we're going to do that and Players and rent homes and cook in kind of what I've been doing anyway. Instead of
Drink, corks.
Yeah,
Corkscrews.
My buddy on tour, we tend to stay together and have a few drinks, a few corks. Monday, Tuesday, but once tournament starts, it's
whatever.
It's relatively dry.
Yeah.
So who you hang out with on tour?
Perez and I've been Pat Perez and I've been hanging out quite a bit.
Cool.
We have a lot of fun together. He does a radio show for XM, and I started one, but it seems to be more the two of us getting on his radio show with Michael Collins than anything else. But
Right.
we definitely have some fun. He's a little bit more. What's his show called? Out of Bounds. He's definitely out of bounds.
More
compared
free
to me.
spirit. Yeah, he's fiery too.
Oh yeah, he's I call him laser lipped. But we have a blast together. We both enjoy our wine, and we both
Is he playing still? Some
he's playing
full time.
full time. He's out
I
in
haven't
Pebble.
seen his name in a while.
Yeah, he's been playing really solid. The last maybe couple months has been a little bit of a dry spell for him, but I mean,
Yeah, he was always good for the West Coast too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's from there, but
yeah, he's from
so-
San Diego, lives out in Scottsdale, and enjoys that weather and makes fun of me for living in Cleveland. But hey, to each his own. But we got a house rented for LA, so I'm sure I'll make sure that he has all the things we need once I fly out there Monday night.
What are some of those things?
Food,
Okay.
food, eggs.
Who you
Eggs.
cook? Are you the cook?
I would say, yeah, I tend to be the cook, but Pat, he definitely has his things that he likes to cook. I mean, he has a pretty set schedule of stuff that he likes
So
E.
to
he
eat.
eats like 3 things and that's it.
A few more than that, but yeah, they're very much the same.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. Pat Perez took one of my kids out to the practice round when we had the Bridgestone out in Firestone,
Yeah.
and WGC. And there's Pat Perez, hair's flowing, and he had his phone on with like heavy music going on
yeah.
while he's like practicing. I'm like, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a really personable. I mean, he was chatting to my son. He's like, goes to my son, he has real curly hair. He says, nice hair. His hair's flowing in the wind and stuff like that. But
I have to tell him to cut his hair because it gets a little too crazy. But hey, that's great. I mean, it's fun. But he is a very personable guy. I mean, he's one of the best, and he's been doing it for 20 years now. So
wow.
Yeah.
it's a
He was
long-
out there when I first began. So.
Yeah, he's had
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing it and still likes to do it. So I give him a little bit of a little shot here and there, but I think he enjoys playing practice rounds. We both work with Drew Steckel, who's our swing coach. There's Kevin Na and a few other guys, but it's easier to play practice rounds when you get 3 guys that work with the same guy.
So does he come out quite a bit, or you go see him? How's it work?
Well, Drew's in Vegas at Southern Highlands right now, and I would say he's out to 70% of the events. I mean, a lot of the big ones, but I mean, I told him right when we started working that I don't need my hand held or anything like that. So some guys want 24/7 surveillance, and I just want him to keep me kind of between the lines.
That was always good. Like, I just wanted one day on the road if my coach was out, just Tuesday morning, get me going, and then let me figure it out, because I didn't want to. You don't want too much going through your head, right?
For sure. So, but it's not too bad. I mean, every once in a while, I tend to hit it pretty good. The short game gets a little sideways here and there. So, if Steckel's not there, he'll hook me up. He's made a living with his wedge, so it's pretty fun to play a lot of practice rounds with him.
That's good.
How much do you change between tournaments if your coach comes out or looks at you and says, I mean, how much time do you have to really change things up?
Well,
during the weeks?
I mean, there's things that you're always working on. Some of the fundamentals that you tend to do. I mean, my legs tend to slide a little bit too much, so there's just small things that he does, and little tips and tricks that he can kind of get me going in the right direction. And then once I get going in that right direction, things kind of snowball.
Yeah, minor change makes a world of difference.
I mean, it might not even be a change. It might just be, you hit a couple shots with some confidence, and that might be the change. I think, somebody that's hitting the driver well, I think that's, gives you the confidence all the way through your bag, or vice versa. You're putting it well, and, that putter is the great equalizer. But I'll tell you what, one way or the other, if you find one little small thing to gain some confidence in, it bleeds into the rest of your game.
I can't say anything better than that, right? I mean, you're talking at the elite level, right? You're talking
bring it down to my level. Talking English.
You
to my
need
level.
about 5,000 things.
How do you know? You don't know.
I do know.
Whatever.
You're
do know.
You're a 7.5, which is
7.2. I'm trying to play to 11.
Which is like a 14, right?
No, it's not.
But you just told somebody else that the other day.
You know what?
When you're a 3, you're really like a 6. So
you're a 7.2, like whatever index. What are we? Are we scratch or
well,
I go to the club now and I'm like a +7. And I'm like, that's not even fun to play because I can't win at +7.
You see, the thing is, I mean, if you're a +7, you would have to technically give me what, 16 shots, right? No, 14.
7.2 plus 7 is 14.
No, but I'm looking at
your math is off.
Canadian math. You should have lived in Canada.
I actually picked up on your Canadian accent over there. You started
out and about.
Yeah,
so you would give me 14 strokes.
Yeah,
I think I could compete.
You can?
Because here's my mouth.
Well,
because that's the thing. Because I can talk shit.
You can?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can bring it.
All right.
I can bring it.
I don't know if you can't. If you can play with Pat Perez chirping in your ear, you can play pretty good.
Listen, I have 24/7 noise in my house. I can block all that shit out.
I thought it was just the voices in your head.
Yeah. I don't have any of those. Now, when I look in the mirror, I have, pictures in my face.
I'm going to just put my own 2 cents. You got no chance.
So wait, what would Pat Perez? He'd give me 14 strokes.
He would be so far in your head before you even hit your first shot. It would be.
Oh,
over.
I love it.
We did.
I love it.
Pat and I did the Wednesday charity thing at Wyndham this year.
Bits and parts of that.
And I mean, him and I, we had a couple of glasses of wine the night before, maybe bottles, and we go to that first tee. And I mean, he is so far in their ear. They teed off, and they didn't have a prayer.
I can bring it. I mean, listen, but the thing is, we have to drink wine the night before.
No problem.
He doesn't know what he's getting into, at least with wine drinking.
Well,
I got that one.
There's some drinkers out there.
Yeah, there is.
But
not nearly as much as you used to.
Have you seen KJ drink?
I have not seen KJ drink, but I could see it.
I played in his event in South Korea, yeah. And he had 4 bottles of wine night before. And we're getting ready to play in the freaking final round together. He's leading, I'm in second. I finished like 40th, and he finished first. He won by like 7 shots. The guy's just a machine.
Yeah.
Don't try to outdrink them.
No, I'm not going to. As long as there's no hard liquor, I'm good. Now, if there's wine or beer, I'm golden.
So are we talking the night before, or are we talking on the golf course
Both.
as well? Okay. Well, we can do wine the night before, and then we can do bourbon on the golf course.
Oh, shit.
Vice versa. Vice versa. Either way,
you got to ask my wife though.
Either way, you're going down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. So I think that's pretty good. We're going to go into a little Patreon section with Jason Kokrak. We're going to ask him some personal, intimate questions. Not too intimate and personal. Like he got
he's getting scared.
Who invited this guy?
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Jason, thanks for coming out. Wish you best of luck in the season.
Good luck the rest of the year.
Yeah, we're going to have a little back nine section on Patreon. Support us on Patreon. Follow us, like us, help us, whatever. So, thanks a lot for listening to Clubs and Corks Golf Podcast with Luke Taylor and Ben Curtis, and have a good one.